Benavidez, Morrell, who wins?
It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a good fight. 50-50 fight.
And I think that it's going to be a war. In my eyes, I see it as a 50-50 fight.
These fighters, I think David Morrell may have needed, one or two more real tests before he really, build the resolve to be able to handle a guy with the ability, the power.
Boxing Pros share predictions for Benavidez versus Morrell fight as the highly anticipated showdown between David Benavidez and David Morrell approaches this Saturday, February 1st, at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Boxing experts have weighed in on their predictions. Former world champion Sean Porter favors Benavidez to come out on top in their 12-round main event. Porter, like many with both fighters possessing size and skill, the stage is set for a thrilling showdown.
Fight is that one?
That's 50-50 right there. If anything, 55-45 for Benavidez. Yeah. I love David versus David. I love everything about the fight. The thing I feel that Benavidez has over Morrell is experience, is true strength. Both those guys are big guys, but I think Benavidez is more of the natural 175-pounder.
Yeah, Morrell's such a high-level technical fighter, but Jose mentioned what you just mentioned, they feel like the experience is gonna eventually show through. I don't know, take me into that, how experience can trump talent and technicality like that.
You know what? The thing that I know for this fight, with when you are in a competitive fight that's gonna go 12 rounds, of course you're prepared for the 12.
175 against Gvozdyk. He blamed an alleged hand injury, but critics saw it as an excuse. Morrell's ability to wear down Benavidez, particularly targeting his vulnerable midsection, could be a key factor. When asked if Benavidez could stop Morrell in 6 rounds, similar to his win over Demetrius Andrade in 2023, Porter was unsure. He speculated that it might take 8 or 9 rounds since Morrell is bigger, younger, and physically stronger than Andrade. He described the fight as a battle of resilience on both sides, making for an exciting and unpredictable matchup. Benavidez must be cautious. Securing a knockout without exposing himself to serious risk will be difficult. His super middleweight resume lacks depth, and this fight will determine whether he can succeed at light heavyweight. Meanwhile, Canelo Alvarez, who has connections to both fighters, sees this as a 50-count victory for Morrell. Cruz compares Morrell's relaxed, playful approach to his own style, noting that Benavidez appears tense and burdened by the weight of expectations. Benavidez never actively pursued this fight, having sidestepped Morrell's callouts since 2022. For years, he capitalized on fighting aging, smaller opponents. A loss to Morrell could shatter his reputation, leaving his fans disillusioned. Many have viewed him as the rightful challenger to Canelo, but few have questioned the level of competition he has faced. Looking at Benavidez's fight against Gvozdyk, his weaknesses become apparent. His resume lacks true challenges, and his struggles at 175 raised outs. Light heavyweight contender Ado's Yerba Sinalibel clash promises to be one of the most intriguing matchups in recent memory.
And man, how do you think Benavidez does? Your gym mate a week after you fight. How do you think that fight goes with Morrell, man?
I think David, he's looking very good. I've been in the gym with him for the past few weeks, and he's been looking great shape, doing some amazing things in the ring. Like always, David's a monster. So I think he'll take care of business February 1st. I think he might even get the stoppage against David Morrell.
Benavidez has earned his Mexican Monster nickname due to his relentless and multifaceted attack. However, Diego Pacheco, who sparred with him just 3 months ago, highlighted an often overlooked aspect of his game, his defense. When asked about Benavidez's underrated skills, Pacheco's eyes lit up as he emphasized his defensive abilities. He noted that while Benavidez tends to stand upright, his defense is surprisingly effective. Pacheco explained that Benavidez is highly skilled at pulling back to evade punches and quickly countering, making him a much more defensively sound fighter than many realize.
David Morrell is a guy that you can't take lightly, He's a great fighter. He's up there for a reason, one of the best Cubans out right now. So, it's going to be a great fight, but I just feel like David is one of those guys, too, who's a monster and just doesn't let anyone take it from him, And when he's in there, he's going in there for the kill. And, of course, you know, I feel like Morrell is maybe going to be his toughest opponent yet.
Prevail. Like,
I think he has a really good jab. You know, he's a good fighter. He keeps his distance really well, so that I feel like he's gonna make it hard for David in the early rounds. But like we saw with Caleb Plant, you know, Caleb Plant was doing a great job boxing the first few rounds when he fought David, but then David just has that chip in his shoulder where he's just coming forward. Even on the clinches, he's still punching. You know, he's still getting punches in, and I feel like when you're boxing a guy like David and he just keeps coming forward no matter what you do, it just makes it hard mentally for you to keep that same game plan and stick to it, because you have a monster like him throwing big punches coming in.
Here's as the belt holder, not Benavidez. If Morrell were a contender without a title, it would be easy to claim he hit the jackpot, but that's not the case here. It's Benavidez who has something to gain. Rosado anticipates a firefight, with both fighters clashing and testing each other's limits. They're both going to land shots. I think Morrell is the bigger puncher of the two, but Benavidez gets you out with volume. So, what's going to win? Rosado questioned. However, this fight may not unfold as the all-out brawl Rosado expects, especially with Morrell's Cuban boxing tradition bringing a sharp tactical awareness to the ring. His struggles against Tevin Farmer. Rosado believes Morrell will need to set traps and land big shots to win. Morrell is definitely going to have to set traps and land some big shots in that fight, he said. Morrell is likely to use movement to land powerful blows on Benavidez, who, with his relentless, Robocop-like approach, may walk right into many of those punches, amplifying Morrell's already devastating power. Two-time world champion Antonio Tarver believes Morrell might need a knockout to defeat Benavidez. This matchup promises to be a thrilling clash of styles, with Benavidez's relentless volume pitted against Morrell's power and technical skill. The outcome may hinge on whether Morrell can land a decisive knockout blow or if Benavidez's volume and pressure will prove too much for the Cuban champion.
And it's going to be, I think Morrell's going to have to find that shot that really, you know, not only drops, but, you know, concuss. He got to knock David Benavidez out. And there's fighters you can make quit. I don't think neither one of these fighters you can make quit. Sometimes you got to knock them out. And I think this is one of those type of fights where, you know, in order to secure victory, you know what I mean? In order to secure victory, one of these guys is going to have to end it with inside the distance. You know, and I think when you look at, you know, what they bring to the table, David Benavidez is going to have a little reach inside advantage.
It appears that Tarver has been swept up in the hype, echoing the same arguments often made by Benavidez supporters. However, if you tune out the noise from his fanbase and focus on two critical factors, his imposing size and the aging, smaller opponents he's been dominating, it becomes clear that Benavidez is essentially a classic weight bully. Tarver did acknowledge that Morrell would be one of the more skilled fighters Benavidez has faced, recognizing Morrell's Vides. The truth is, Benavidez didn't outperform Canelo against Plant and was actually on the losing end of nearly every round in the first 6. Plant exposed several weaknesses in Benavidez's game. If you're using Benavidez's performance against Plant as evidence that he would defeat Morrell, you're missing the bigger picture. Morrell presents a different kind of challenge, one that could exploit the flaws Plant revealed and capitalize on Benavidez's reliance on size and volume. The fight
will be, I think, one of the, you know, more gifted fighters that Benavidez has faced. I think David Morrell comes in with a lot of talent. And you got, you know, a guy that has a talent like both of these guys, and they rise to the occasion. It's the moment that really gets these guys up, and I think this is the type of fight that you can say it's going to bring the best out of both of these guys, man.
That wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss out on our future content. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more exciting videos, make sure to hit the bell icon and stay updated. Subscribe to Boxing Hub now for all the latest in boxing.